did one yesterday, and then I was like, you know what, I have to do another one. I had such a good time yesterday doing that live video. I was doing some metaphysical teachings on conscious living in terms of wealth, health, and abundance creation. So today what I'm going to talk about is I'm not going to talk about this book, but I'm using this book as a guidance. And this book came to me about 10 years ago, in terms of it just was passed down to me, and now I'm just going to talk a little bits and pieces about this book. And it's a really good book in terms of learning the metaphysical teaching and how to create the ideal life for yourself and how to awaken your God-given gift. Okay? And it's basically alchemizing your life and transforming your life to the next level. So what I want to teach about this is how do you follow your own God design? It gets very hard because we are born with certain limitations, right? We have every single one of us is told by societies, told by our parents, our in-laws, and our friends that we should be this way. But deep inside of you, you know it's not that version of you. It's not the highest version of you. But you have to be able to recognize that. And what happens over the years, because you do see it, but because of this dilemma, you develop this conflict of resentment, bitterness, anger towards your family members, anger towards your friends, society, and stuff like that. But once you start to recognize your own inner limitations, you're able to raise your consciousness. So the more we are aware of it, so through this book has deep meaning in there, but sometimes you may, when you read this and you haven't healed certain levels of your habits and patterns, you might see this book as being biased. And once you go deeper into this book, there's so much depth in this book, so much deeper meaning. If you go past all that mental clutter and limitation, you can really understand the metaphysical teaching and get you to the next level of your life. Okay? And most of you know I'm a chiropractor. I've been practicing chiropractic over 15 years, and I don't just do regular chiropractic care, but I also do spiritual coaching. So I coach my clients from a therapeutic level. I get them to a different level of consciousness through spiritual teaching and guidance, so they can actually get out of that repeated pain patterns, repeated anxiety patterns, or depression patterns, because there's a deeper underlying root cause. Okay? So what I wanted to teach here is basically an awakened part of you, because some of you might be lost, some of you might be looking for that next thing, or some of you are stuck in a relationship or stuck in a family there's a lot of abuse, there's a lot of substance abuse. So whichever form it is, you know this is not for you. You need to get out of this. But in order to get out of this or move to the next level in life, you have to first acknowledge certain parts of you that hasn't been healed. There's a lot of levels of trauma that's stuck within there. So that's the whole point about this teaching, because it awakens the part of you that becomes stronger and more grounded and more wisdom, so you can actually help yourself to get out of that limited lifestyle. So when I talk about consciousness, when you're shifting your consciousness, so there's different levels of awareness. So the basic awareness is basically you're in constant blame state, looking for problems outside. You might be in a drama state where you always kind of complain about things, and somehow you feel like, because of that, my life sucks. Because of this, I don't have the best life. Okay? That's one level of consciousness. And then there's another level of consciousness where there's so many different levels. So another level is where you become aware you're blaming, but you don't know what to do about it. You're aware that you shouldn't complain, but you don't know what to do about it. You're aware that you may hate other people, but you don't know what to do about it, because your heart center is so blocked that you cannot release that weight and that burden out of you. Okay? And then third stage is more like Just trying to get back. So third state is more like you're in a state of, you kind of have the tools, you're letting yourself to get out of it. So you have this tool to catch yourself that you are in that blame state or in that state of being angry, frustrated. So you catch yourself. I'm sorry if it's a little bit loud in my background because I'm in the clinic, so have a lot of noises going on in here. So basically when you're in that state of, I can see myself, I'm not in a healthy state, I can recognize it, okay, I'm choosing not to be in that. That's already a higher level of awareness. Then in this next stage, you're actually able to use certain beautiful tools to expand your consciousness. You get into that heart-centeredness, you get into that groundedness where you have so much trust and faith. You can break down these stages in multiple levels. You can go into 10 stages, or you can like stretching it out, or you can compress it and make into 4 or 5 stages. So when you have more faith and more trust within yourself, you will expand to a whole different level because you stop blaming, you stop resenting, you stop hating, and you have these healthy boundaries that you do not let things that do not serve you in your life. It comes from unconditional love. It doesn't come from hate. It doesn't come from resentment. But in order to get to that level, you have to work within yourself. This is why I've created a course for you guys. So it's very basic. So it helps you to get to the next level. The course, the way I created, it's all the information I've learned over the years. I compressed it into 6 lessons. Because you don't need to do all these other lessons, but these 6 lessons, it's going to go into more, but these 6 lessons is going to help you to expand your consciousness. So I'm going to show you what I mean by so the reason why I want to share this is so important, because when people say, oh, I'm in this stage, I'm on that stage, they're kind of comparing themselves competitively. You don't want to be competitive. You want to acknowledge this state, because just because you're in the lower state doesn't mean you're lower than the other person. It's just a different consciousness. Once you're aware of that consciousness, you want to move to the next one. You're not, I know linearly it looks like you're going above. So I'm going to just draw how it looks to most people. So if you look at this, so level of consciousness, you can be in the stage 1, 2, 3, you can go up this way, right? But if you flip this, so you're not any more linear, you're all in the same level, it's just different consciousness. So now you're not going to feel you're lower, because it's not fair, because some people are born in a country that there's no money, right? There's some people are born in an abusive family. Some people are born in a wealthy family. So there's different consciousness that's in this earthly world, okay? But when we look this way, that's when we start to sabotage ourselves, because we feel like, oh, I'm in this level, how can, it's not fair, I'm here. But when you say it's not fair, you cannot get out of this trap, you're gonna get stuck in here, okay? But with consciousness, the more you're aware, you can just say, you know what, I choose not to be in here, I wanna be in this one. Oh, I don't wanna be in here, I wanna be in this one. So now you become in power of yourself instead of feeling like you can go up this way. I hope this makes sense, because this will empower you much faster than this way. It's a perspective switch. Now you feel like, oh, I'm in an abusive relationship. Okay, you know what? I'm going to decide to move forward. Oh, my body is in pain, because since I'm a chiropractor, so my body is in pain. I'm choosing to live a lifestyle that's going to feel good in my body. Okay, so you're shifting your consciousness to the next one. But to shift, you have to have the tools. Without the tools, you can't get to the next level. Okay, I'm using the word level. Remember, you're all in the same plane, you're all in the same earthly world, but they're just different consciousness. Okay, it's like moving from one house. You feel like, okay, I've lived this house, it's not serving me anymore. Let me expand to a different house. Maybe it has more rooms or maybe it has less rooms. It doesn't really matter. You just chose to go from here to there. Because you know, going from here to here, it's going to expand you. Okay? Same thing as human being. We're given, the reason why all these teachings from masters and gurus and saints, they were all here to help us to evolve as a human being. Not to become just spiritual, but using the spiritual guidance to help you evolve as a human being. And to live your highest version, not your smallest version. The smallest version is clouded by the belief system of the society, is clouded by the belief system of family members, your siblings, friends, community. Then we'll be always the same. We don't evolve. And every single human being is made for their own purpose. That's how valuable you are. If you're watching this video, I know some of you are probably not available to watch this right now, but once you watch this video, it will awaken part of you. And because awaken part of you that has been dormant, you're here for a reason. No one's here to run away from problems. No one's here to hide. We're here to fully live in our body and experience life in the highest forms. Okay? So let me just, so what happens with, so using these teachings from multiple different saints and gurus, they're gonna help you to get out of that stuckness. They're gonna help you to get out of that stagnation. Especially when you feel lost, you don't know what to do. Or let's say it doesn't have to be lost. Let's say you're just a beginning in your life, like you're in your 20s, right? And you're so excited, you get to a certain level, and then you're like, I don't know what to do, I'm stuck now. These teachings are going to help you to get to the next level. So this is why I created the course, to awaken that part of you. Okay? It's to awaken the part of you. I'm calling it purifying and cleansing, but it's actually awakening your self-awareness. It's awakening your highest form. And the more you do it, the more clear you become. You can see when you've been clouded by the message of the society. I'm not here to tell you what you should do. I'm here to awaken your version, your higher version. Because if I told you what you are, you're going to already be blocked of who you're supposed to be. That's my saying of who you're supposed to be. But if I gave you that possibility that you can unlock your own true potential, you're going to go to the next level. Okay? And so with these teachings and with the guidance, with the course I've created, it's going to help you to evolve and ascend further. And you're going to create this discernment that you know exactly what's for you. It takes a little time with practice, but then you will start to recognize what's not serving you, right? And with discernment, you will find your way to nirvana, to kingdom of heaven, which is all inside of you. It's not over there. Nirvana is not that far away. It's right here. Kingdom of heaven is right within ourselves. But with discernment, you become very clear of your kingdom of heaven. And that's your higher version. Your higher version is the version of it's the state of nirvana or kingdom of heaven. Okay? And with discernment, your gifts will come out. You will start to recognize your gifts, what you're here for. If someone told me about 20 years ago that you're going to be teaching metaphysical teachings, you're going to help people to find their higher version, I would have been like, what is this about? I have no clue what that is. So it took me time to first embody these higher versions of me. I had to do a lot of exercise, a lot of meditation, a lot of breath work. I still do them because I'm always expanding a different level of me, a higher version of me. So I had to do a lot of Kriya Yoga to expand my consciousness. So I put all that versions together in one. Okay, in that little course, and it's going to help you to get you started. And do not judge yourself in what state you're in, because the minute you put a fear, the minute you put a judgment that you're in this state, it already creates resistance. It doesn't help you to move forward. You have to accept where you are first, with the heart-centeredness, with more love towards yourself. And the more you accept this moment, it's easier to move forward. It's easier to take the next action step because you don't have as much resistance in your energy field. The reason why a lot of people quit, a lot of spiritual people quit, is because they have a lot of resistance in their energy field, so they cannot do the next step. And if you just had the spiritual teaching and didn't apply that in your day-to-day life, you're also not going to get forward. Okay? And every spiritual teaching is helping you to recognize the problems you're in right now. How to face these problems, not to run away from problems. When you walk away, you haven't fully acknowledged the problem. And this whole new move of being, I don't effing care, or the unapologetic movement is amazing, but only if you're going from a heart-centeredness. It's different when you go from hate or resentment or fear. Let's say we're letting go of a situation because of fear or resentment. That's not part of human evolution. That's not part of human ascension. If you want to ascend, you have to recognize that limitation within yourself and acknowledge that part of you and have that love towards yourself and love towards the others or the event. This will help you to move forward. Not rejection from fear or hate or anger. I hope this really makes sense because it's such an important point here. And through these exercises, I just want to remind you, through these exercises, you find your true blueprint. You'll find your gift, and this gift will expand. It doesn't stay one thing. So most of us get attached to, let's say I'm a chiropractor, right? I can get attached in being a chiropractor the rest of my life and not evolve. But as a chiropractor, I evolved to become a spiritual chiropractor and then evolved into the metaphysical teachings. So I became a mastermind to be able to find these inner limitations and guide people to release their own limitations. And once you're so in your power, you're able to weigh the advice from others. You're able to recognize, is this advice for you? Is it serving you or it's not serving you? Even when people tell you something. And you have to be able to discriminate these qualities because this is how your the leader within yourself will start to develop, right? That's how your leaderships will start to develop. Okay, so I hope this really made sense. I hope this made more awareness in your life, in your existence, and getting you to the next level. So you're not holding yourself back from who you're supposed to be. And it's very easy, especially in our culture. We have this Indian culture. It's amazing. We all, like a lot of us are very religious, but then once our spiritual self wakes up, we start seeing we're stuck in something where you don't need to be. Okay, and when you don't notice, that's when all the self-sabotaging behaviors will start. There's all this feeling of stagnation, stuckness, resentment, bitterness, all that stuff start to build up because you were in that stagnation and you can't recognize it. Okay, and this is, again, it's very common in different, like certain cultures, and I hope this will awaken that part of you that will help you to get to the level that you're supposed to be. Okay, I'm still working on new videos, new new teachings, so you can evolve even further depending on which levels you're in. There's so many different levels. As I said, I don't want to call the level. Think again, you're in terms of consciousness. You can choose whatever consciousness you're in. Remember, when I say you can choose, now you're in your power. When you're in your power, it's easy to move from one consciousness to another and to another to another to serve you, to serve your highest version of you. Okay, and if you look the Yogananda's book, yes, I spoke about that yesterday, not this one, the other, I don't have it right now with me. The autobiography of a yogi, he mentions how he goes to different gurus and gurujis to find his truth. He's meeting so many different people, and each one of them is awakening his higher version. If you see the depth in there, so he meets so many teachers and masters, and he learns so much metaphysical teachings and what's out there. But through that experience, he found his higher version. And finally, he realized his own guru is in his own town, or I think he was in his own town, but close to him. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here is, when you go through your experiences, you may meet different teachers, different masters, different guides, mentors, books, that each one has something in there that is unlocking the block you have inside of you, which will open up that higher version of you. So thank you for watching. Make sure you don't forget to like my page. Make sure you follow my page and subscribe to my page, and leave comments in the chat box and let me know how you find about this video, how it has helped you. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you back on the next video.